Okay, welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode 417. We're here reviewing episode 1148 for the anime. Yep, 1148. Just gonna do one small updating here. The first, pages 2 through 5 of chapter 11. 1115. And it appears as though they made some additions. Yes, I'm trying to get back here with this one. Come on. Thank you. Okay, here we go. So, basically, I'll give the main gist, and there's a bunch of cameos in this episode. A lot of cameos in this episode. Some of them have not been seen in a long time. I'll get to cameos later. So we briefly see Luffy try to fight. I think it's one of the elders who's basically a pig. We see one who's a horse trying to fight Frankie, Sanji, Bonnie, and not Lilith. And one of the giants. Basically, Mars tries. He basically sees because the whole thing, the broadcast is going like crazy. So he's seen briefly trying to start a fight with Robin, Usopp, Lilith, and Chopper, but he's like, nope, don't have time for you. Jumps over them and goes right to looking for the source of the Vegapunk broadcast. Mars does basically, as Hayes does, Mars is pretty much the same thing. He's still looking, and he just basically enjoys every single transparency they come across. Zoro and Jinbei are still not back yet, and the broadcast reveals about the Void Sentry, which we see basically Roswell's daughter, one of the Slash Dragons. We're asking, what's a Void Sentry? She had never heard of it before. And she's one of the Slasher Dragons, mind you. One of the world nobles. Which, first time this character's been seen since the Saba Odi arc. And here's a boatload of cameos for basically this episode. We see Polly and Toppo. These two have not been seen since post Enies Lobby, which came almost 20 years ago. Let's see, we do see a brief return of Wano. We see Momonosuke, Kinemon, which of course Momo has maybe a few more lines in the manga. In the manga, it was very brief. It was one small panel. Yeah, basically Toei extended this one panel until run for 1 full minute of animation, where he's talking, Otama is talking. Which is interesting because she didn't have any lines in the original chapter this came out in. We see Shinobu there. You're thinking, wait, and by the way, also in front of the palace, front of the Fly Palace, there's a straw hat flag there. Well, that's because it was given to Momonosuke by Luffy at the end of the Wano arc. And of course, Tama's like, I want to see Luffy again, and Momonosuke, I like to see that too. That's a brief scene for them. I'm sure when they dub this one, I'm sure Sarah Weinhoff and Justin Brenner are going to come back to this episode, along with the actor who voices Kinemon. Yeah. And they also briefly see Zoe, which is the first time that we've seen, basically Carrot and some of the Minks. First time since the end of Wano. We also briefly see Aokiji in the episode at Pirate Island. Well, he appeared a few episodes back, watching the broadcast. Let's see. There's one big one. There's two really big ones here. First, we have the return of Foxy. His first canon appearance since his own arc, which came out just prior to This is his first canon appearance since the Foxy fight, which happened just prior to the Straw Hats meeting out Key the first time. That was the last time canon-wise he was seen, because everything else since then has all been anime original content, including a special. Well, apparently, since the last time he was seen, he's grown facial hair. And apparently one of members' crew is hungry, and that's briefly it. But the biggest cameo I get for the whole episode is the return of Orangetown. Which I found this interesting, given the fact this town has not appeared in the anime since 1998. Which, by the way, this brief scene in the anime with featuring Return of Orangetown, that was not in the original material. Nope, that was not there. That was completely added in the anime. I was like, wow. Like, that one, since 90, that was almost 30 years ago. That was 27 years ago. That was the last time that town has been seen. But I gotta admit, basically seeing his cameos is quite something. Because it's just been a long time since seeing these characters. Some of whom do appear in previous story arcs, per se. But some of whom have not appeared in like almost 20 years. Also, when they feature Warrior 7, normally when they feature Warrior 7, since Warrior 7 wrapped up, normally Iceberg gets a cameo here. Not usually other people like Polly. Which, Polly was seen in the cover stories part of this. Where he's running from debtors, debt collectors, and fans. Also, he's the vice president of the shipping company. Well, now he's basically changed his shirt now, where he's a wine shirt now. I do find interesting the fact they featured him here, given the fact he was never featured part of this. Like, and here's the thing: there's a lot of cover story that they should be adapting. Oh, so I've been meaning to bring this up here. So before I talk about the actual new chapter of the manga, which is chapter 1164, it was announced that from the months of January to March, the anime is taking hiatus. And then start in April, and from the next year forward, the anime is only going to release 26 episodes a year. And the reason? To improve on the pacing. Oh, there's also one brief thing I forgot to mention here. It's a scene where Edison is turning a valve to release the clouds so they can get the thousand away from the island while the island being bombarded by the Buster Call. I forgot to mention it here. We do briefly see Morgan is not in the episode per se, but I think that probably for a lot of people who watch this episode and seeing the return of all people Foxy and Orangetown, that's interesting. Like those two things, along with Polly and the other guy from the shipping company. I think it was like Galley Law. Yes. Which, like I said, they've not been seen in almost 20 years. While the Orange Island itself has not been seen since 98. Yeah, but... Oh, there's also a return of one other thing here I almost forgot to mention here. We see the return of the fake Straw Hat Pirates, who are now posing as fake Kid Pirates because there's a claim these people are dead. And we also have the anime debut of the base G4. Interesting to say the least. Yes. But overall, so great episode. Can't wait for the next episode we air next week. And I think there is roughly about almost 9.5 chapters left to go to be adapted for the arc. Yes, I think so. Alright, so next up we have is 1164, Davy Blood. We have Panora chasing the rabbit with a watch. I think the rabbit is from, I believe it was Whole Cake. Yeah, speaking of Whole Cake, we do see brief came by the Big Mom Pirates. So we start out with Whitebeard, Garp, Roger. It was Whitebeard, Roger, Garp, Kaido and Big Mom all taking on. They think it's Saint Seiya. I think it's Emu. Because the face. And then we see, well, we see Rocks where he basically is going crazy. He says, Davy D. Jones was once king of the world. And Emu's like, silence, he was never king. Not for instance. That grievance between Mao and Davy has nothing to do with thee. Why are you so panicked? Other than cheerful, this is Davy's name. You've kept the terrified for years, haven't you? And then we see Rocks' wife and son running away. It's like, what's more frightening, Davy D. Jones or Joy Boy? Cease thy dreaming, thou shalt never be seen again. And he gets stabbed by Emu. Yeah, they thought this was saying Saint Seiya, but looking at the face, that is Emu. Who's causing this crazy of a half, like in my hand, it's Kaido basically on him. It's not doing anything, it's a big brawl. And then we see Rocks taking on Whitebeard, which this might, of course, this particular incident would cause the end of the Whitebeard of the Rock Pirates. Everybody's winning, of course. We see briefly the Celestial Dragon where they're running away. We see Shiki and Silver Rayleigh where basically they're... Oh, forgot to mention. We do see a brief appearance here by... I kid you not. The Kaiju Pirates. Yeah, they make a brief camp, but Bonobo Hancock, mind you. Probably because she's on her ship going to find Luffy. Which, as of currently, he's in Elbath. And then we see briefly Kuma and Ironkov. What you have to stop? How about saving lives or a person? And that stuff he was Shiki the Lion. And then, of course, Rock's chasing after his wife and sons. Like, so you lost it then. I'm sorry, your face is faced off in order to save us. It was too early then. Teach. And she's running out to sea. Thanks, he has to escort ashore. And it seems like he's about to do something, and then Kuma blocks it. Yes, Kuma. Which, this part was not seen in the actual flashback. This is added here. It's like, yeah, Kuma stopped Rocks. And everybody is evacuating the island. And Rocks is basically going nuts. And the big rock is split in half. And then we see Roger and Garp teaming up to take on Rocks. And in the chapter, which this was actually teased, this little team up. It was mentioned some time ago. Which I found this to be quite interesting to say the least, yes. But otherwise, though, great chapter. I give it a 10 out of 10. I would say we're probably getting pretty close to wrapping this flashback up. This flashback going on for almost 10 chapters now, so maybe we might see go back to the present LBAP stuff. Who knows, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it for a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up we have is, well, Black Clover. Yep, Black Clover is next. And then after that, it will be, well, Rama Half. Okay, next deal. Bye.